Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Andrew Snorton with Creative Community Solutions. And as you're aware, we get the opportunity to cover great people doing great things. So whether it's sports, arts and entertainment, government and politics, or community, whenever we get a chance to talk with great people, we're going to definitely do it. To make sure to catch this interview, you want to make sure to look it up on our website, asnortonccs.com/blog. Make sure to add Creative Community Solutions LLC on Facebook as well as YouTube. Make sure to add A Snorton CCS on Twitter and Instagram. So that way you can catch all the great work that's taking place, including with today's article. So I'm excited because we are still here in the great Midwest, Central Illinois, McLean County, Bloomington-Normal. And I am so blessed to have the one and only Maestro Jones taking time out with us. Maestro, how you doing today?
I'm very good, sir. Just enjoying the day, fine tuning my life, and ready to get things rolling for the summer.
Well, I tell you what, getting things rolling, that's certainly something that you're doing. We're going to get to that in a minute. Before we get to the hat that you wear as a performing artist, could you give us a point of reference where you're based out of and what are some of your other moving parts outside of the performing arts?
Okay, so my name is Maestro Jones. I come from Bloomington, Illinois, and honestly, I just got into music at a young age. As you know, with the Juneteenth event that you had came from on Saturday, I used to perform at the Culture Fest when I was very young, and my mom had I just told her that I wanted to do music. I saw Bow Wow one day, and I was just like, "Hey, I want to do that." And she had got me into music at a very young age, and just performing other people's lyrics and kind of just getting on stage and getting a presence. And come sixth grade, I just started writing my own music and kind of just taking it a little more serious, and got into band as well. Played snare drum from fifth grade to high school, and after that, got into some jazz band in college, and here I am.
Wow. So it sounds like your love for music really started early. You mentioned, one of the artists that kind of caught your eye, as well as some of the different genres. And of course, in regards to music, there's so many influences. Who would you say are three music influences that quote you kind of gravitated towards that maybe other people might not be aware of? Because people are like, oh, I grew up listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire or Michael Jackson. Nothing wrong with that. But who are three musical influences of yours that maybe a lot of people or the masses might not be aware of?
I would say, for one, I just have to say Bow Wow, because like I was so young, and he's about like 6 years older. He's my sister's age. So around the time of like when I was about 5, 6, I just saw that first video on MTV, and I was just like, whoa, he looks my age and I want to do that. So like that for one. But then my dad, he got me functified at an early age as well. So I would say not on the funk era, but I would say Q-Tip. Q-Tip, A Tribe Called Quest. They really, that was a pivotal point around 97, 98, to where I was just had my ears all the way open. Thirdly, it's hard, but who's most influential on my life? Probably no, I'll probably say Nas. When I heard what's the song? It ain't hard to tell. Yeah, when I heard It Ain't Hard to Tell,
Yes.
I was just like, I was with a couple of my friends, my hometown friends, like lifelong friends. We had had a sleepover, and we had memorized the rhymes to each one, to memorize each verse, and we kind of had a competition on who could say the best verse
Mhm.
to who can get each verse, and that really influenced me a lot to write my own stuff.
Wow. Well, thank you for representing up top. That's where I grew up, New Jersey. And of course, like Nas, it ain't hard to tell. Using that Michael Jackson sample, it's like, that is
Yeah.
ridiculous. So here you are, you got exposure to music. You saw that this is what you wanted to do. You did little battle rap, cipher, all that type of thing. But how did you know for real, that this is the path you wanted to go?
um, I would say the mix from being a musician and an artist, because I always like hip hop was so influential in my life. Also R&B. My dad, he was a disc jockey in Springfield, Illinois, and he just had so many records laying around. But I wasn't really, you know, I didn't really have a clear thing to where I wanted to do it. But when I started playing drums and in fifth grade, and I just learned that, hey, like I can be good at this, then that mixed with the hip hop that had my heart, you know. Um, Being a musician kind of molded me into something else, and I didn't. It was something that even my friends didn't understand, because they're like, "Hey, like you carrying that snare drum like every day, man. That thing is like you got your backpack, your books, and the snare drum and the bells. Like just had to be a little different, and not and take criticism from other friends who didn't do it. So
And I'll tell you what's funny, when you were talking about packing your snare drum, there's so many parallels. Like in hip hop, you hear artists talking about, I'm carrying my notebook. Even someone who's written books, it's like, I'll carry my composition book, or I'll go into my notes on my cell phone and just start typing and what have you. Like everybody kind of in that creative space, we've got something that's a little bit quirky, but being quirky leads to even higher levels of creativity. So I mean,
exactly.
that's just amazing. So now here you are, um, percussion background, playing different genres. Describe to people who haven't had a chance to check you out, what would you call your music style? Would you say it leans towards hip hop? Is it towards R&B? Are you finding that blend? Like, how would you describe your sound?
Um, I would describe the sound as very much just a mixture between R&B and hip hop. I'm really trying to find a name for it. I can't, but it's very much just the focus and concentration of being a musician and an artist at the same time, as well as a performer. Um, as you know, I started incorporating the roller skates, and that that's a very new thing. But not new to me. My dad, he had DJ'd at our local skating place in town in Bloomington, and ever since I was 4, I was roller skating just because he was, and I would go every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and so to get back to the question, I would say the style is more of just something special to me, something special that I can incorporate everything, and it's very groovy. It's groovy, it's fun, and it's also got those bars for the people that want to like, you know, get that hip hop in.
It sounds like you're like, and I always use the Fisher analogy, like the bigger the net you have, the more you can capture. And it's like you're not only infusing elements of hip hop, R&B, but you're probably sprinkling in the other music influences that you played, jazz, what have you. So it's really, it's almost like that smorgasbord. It's like you're going to the buffet, and it's like, hey, I see a plate of this, I see a section of this, I see a section of that, and it's like you're like, wow, I put all this stuff on my plate. but
Yeah.
then it's something that's satisfying the ears and the soul. And
Yeah.
speaking of, I had the pleasure of seeing you live and direct this past Sunday. So after I come off the stage, I'm looking at you and I'm like, I'm seeing your vibe and all that. And then it's like this joker right here, roller skating on stage. Like you said, you grew up roller skating, but how on earth do you roller skate, sing, rap, chop it up? All look, I have problems just walking in front of my left and my right. You just doing these 720s, slide to the left, slide to the right, stop and pivot. I'm like, man, I'm gonna let you have it. How do you like they said in the movie Ray? How do you make it do what it do?
Okay, so my dad's a very he's very in my life. He's always been in my life, and he would always tell me, just just do your own thing, and just be vulnerable. Um, I have a lot of talents, and the one thing about it is I just have to um be myself, and learn that I can do all of these things, but at the same time I have to give a good performance as well. So I definitely practice a lot. I fall a lot. Nobody sees the falls. They just see me up on stage. So I'm always taking my time after work. I am a carpenter as well. So I lay floors, and my dad's been laying floors for 30 years. He just retired. So along with being the man beyond the music, I still take the time to stay in the garage and practice, and practice with the mic. And I got all my own gear, so any performance that I go to, I always make sure to bring my own gear in case they don't have it. And just being prepared and having the audacity to just do it. And like I said, it's a very new thing for me to get on stage and be on skates. So I've been skating all my life, but at the same time, skating and rapping it's very new to me as well. But
Well, I tell you what, all I know is that from what I saw, you are definitely dedicated to your craft. And then just dropping that hint of a carpenter, you are, like the old folks say, picking them up, laying them down, laying a solid foundation. So I know the next thing, this is coming. When do people, whether they're in Bloomington-Normal or wherever, what are some upcoming dates that you have where people can catch you live, direct, obviously see you on the skates, but see you on the mic and doing your thing?
okay, so yeah, this Friday at Make Music Normal, 5:45, I will be on stage in the circle, in the plaza stage. Um, that's that's the most up and coming. Second, I will have another performance coming at probably mid-July. There's the Connie Link Theater. It's local in Bloomington as well. It's actually on the trail that I skate. So that's one thing that I always do is I take time for myself and skate on the trail, just kind of up and down the Constitution Trail. And that's just one of my things to get my center back when everything's so fast. I just, put in my headphones, I take my water, my backpack, and I just skate up and down the trail. But the Connie Link Theater, my friend and good homie V8, he's putting on an event.
Yes.
So he definitely looked out. He's looked out for me in the past year or so. We've had a lot of performances together, and we also have a project coming together as well. Coming here in the next month or so.
Yes, like I said, V8 just a
Yep.
dope speaker, like for real, for real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's fire.
yeah, he brings that heat. He brings that
Yeah,
heat, definitely. Constructive heat, ladies and gentlemen.
exactly.
Does creative and constructive. Well, let's do this. What are the best ways for people to find out more, about what you're doing, So websites, social media, if your music's on any of the streaming platforms, what platforms can they go hit up and check you out?
Okay, so Facebook is the most like all around. I go by Nick Maestro Jones on Facebook. Maestro Music, music with a K. You can find most of my performances and music as well on there. On Instagram, I'm very active. That's underscore ISO Maestro. That's ISO MAESTRO underscore again. Have a lot of freestyles and performances and even skate videos on there. Not too much on Twitter. I'm gonna get that back cracking here in a second. But yeah, also for music, my latest EP, Lace Up, that's the four tracks, the 4 skate tracks. It's on Spotify. It's pretty much on every platform that you can get. So YouTube Music, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. If you hear it at the skating rink, you can Shazam it.
Oh yeah, yeah, Shazam. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much on all platforms as far as music goes. I have another another album. My first album, Presence, is also on Spotify and everything as well. But I go by the name of Just Maestro for that one. So yeah, Just Maestro for that one. MAESTRO, and Presence as in the presence of. So that's my pretty much my debut album as far as music goes, and I'm looking forward to dropping a lot more for the people this year in the next few years to come.
I tell you what, you are doing some really creative things, from the roller skate to the blending of different genres to incorporating your influences, teaming up with some other, great creatives. So as we get ready to wind down, if people don't remember anything else about your music journey or professional journey, what's one thing that you'd like to leave with our readers and our viewers?
Okay, so I would say one thing that's helped me come into who I am as an artist is being an observer of my own life. Just being able to just take a step back and not take everything so serious, and at the same time be repetitive and in everything that I do. And I have a few things that being a maestro compose of, which as you see, I'm turning my pages here. But there's a I was telling you that I had a book as well that I want to incorporate into the whole thing. But the table of contents of my book is basically from the first chapter to the 7th chapter is self-love, having a love for yourself, and being able to understand when you're getting out of yourself, and just learning how to come back into who you really are. I love a lot of things, and as far as music and skating, and being a student of the game, being a student of hip hop, just learning how to get back to my center and not focus on everything that's around me. Then there is look around. That kind of goes in between that self-love part, but being able to look around and have a fine eye for where you want to be and the people you surround yourself with. The third thing is to have a plan. Write out your goals. Be very diligent in knowing exactly what you want out of this, because I've had a lot of years where I was just kind of in a daze, kind of especially in college, because college is it's it's hit or miss when it comes to learning school or or just having the experience. So that as well. Answers versus questions. You gotta balance how you look at life. And there's a common song, and it's about the questions that you have.
Mhm.
So the questions are almost more important than the answers. um, Assemble and ensemble. So you have to assemble the people that you want to be around, and the pretty much everything about your life. You have to assemble the things that you want to be able to give to people, and also have the right people around you to get those things done. Um, Create in survival mode. That's that's very much how I'm able to practice and keep that same repetition of um, performance, being in performance mode all the time. It helps to practice how you perform
Mhm.
all the time. Um, and the last one is don't specialize, do it all.
You know what? That last one, I tell you what, you must have peeped my page in regards to the types of books I've written. It's like, why not? So
Yeah, yeah,
I tell you what, every time we get a chance to have these, it is such an eye opener. It is so insightful, from teachable moments, learning opportunities, encouragement, motivation, like the whole 9 yards. So, again, as a reminder, to catch the full interview, make sure to add us on YouTube, Creative Community Solutions LLC, and make sure to add us on Facebook, Creative Community Solutions LLC. We will have the full article available on our business page, on our business website, acenortonccs.com/blog, Ace Norton CCS on Twitter and YouTube. And as I like to say, if this is your first time connecting with the carpenter and the maestro, don't let
yes,
this
sir.
be your last. And again, one last time, this coming Friday, which will be June 24th, date, time, and location where people can check you out live and in performance.
Yes, sir. Make Music Normal, 545 Bloomington, Illinois. I will be on stage at the Plaza stage. It's gonna be a wonderful experience. I have some new music that I'm gonna perform as well. Um, on the keys, on the skates. Um, yeah, yeah. 545 Bloomington, Illinois. Make Music Normal.
All
My
right.
first year, my first year performing at Make Music Normal, and it's such an honor.
I tell you what, man, just love the balance of energy and calmness, creativity, and being strategic and everything. So again, don't forget, check him out this coming Friday. And as a reminder, again, acenortonccs.com/blog for the full article, Facebook and YouTube, Creative Community Solutions LLC, Ace Norton CCS on Twitter and Instagram. So again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to support and make sure to continue checking out all of our coverage across the board. And until next time, all of you take very good care. Have a good day. Have a good week. Look forward to seeing you in the coming days.